Hi, this is Elaine again, and I want to talk to you some more about what is happening in our country today that is causing the crisis that we are in. And um, just to mention a little bit for a review, because I covered this in the last video. And if you haven't watched it, the last video, then I would recommend that you watch it. But I talked about the misunderstandings people have and um, the lies that people have been taught to believe in, and unconstitutional things that people have been taught through the media, through the schools, and through what our political leaders are teaching us, because they've been miseducated, and so they're promoting anti-unconstitutional ideas, things like limiting the government and a balanced amendment, a balanced budget amendment, things like this. So, but today, what I want to talk more about is it's along the same lines, but instead of focusing on the lies, I want to talk about some of the underlying principles that should have been taught in the schools so that people could be more aware of what's going on, so they could know what the underlying principles are that have been causing things to happen in history, and so that they can um, have a greater discernment when they look around them, and they can see these, that there are underlying principles happening. You can't see them with your eye. You have to see them in your um, in your mind's eye, I guess, because they're underlying principles. But so what I wanted to start out with is that um, one of the things that our founding fathers understood, and it, it is why they framed our Constitution, our founding documents, the way they did, is that they understood that there is a principle that has been in play throughout the whole history of the world, um, for thousands of years. Well, I don't know how far it goes back, but anyway, but to explain this principle, I want to tell about a writer, somebody that understood this principle, and he wrote um, a play about it. And his name was Aeschylus, and he wrote he wrote about the ancient Greeks. He wrote about what was happening politically in his time, but he wrote it in this story about Prometheus. And it's a story where Prometheus took fire and gave it to man, and because he wanted to help mankind, and he wanted mankind to be able to use fire for his development. Well, fire is symbolically represents scientific progress, and because it's different forms of fire, which um, it symbolizes advancements in scientific research and understanding. So you have to understand it in a symbolic way. But so Prometheus took fire and gave it to mankind, and mankind was able to develop and grow. But Zeus did not like it in the development of mankind. Zeus wanted to hold mankind back, and so Zeus punished Prometheus for this. He didn't want fire. He didn't want mankind to have fire because he wanted mankind to be uneducated and backward and easy to control. Um, so this play portrayed a fight between two principles: the principle of Zeus and the Prometheus principle. It's a struggle between the domination and control of the world's population by a group of elitists who consider themselves better than the masses of mankind and want to keep them stupid and easy to control. The founding fathers set up the American Republic to stand in opposition to this principle of Zeus. And that is why they wrote the words, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." With these words, they were declaring their opposition to uh, the principle of Zeus, or the principle of empire, which is what the British Empire represented. And because the British Empire thought they had the right, the royal family thought they had the right to rule over the masses and dominate them for their benefit, and that they had the right to do this by virtue of their inherited nobility or royalty. So, anyway, this is the reason why they fought the Revolutionary War. It was a rebellion against this system, the system of empire. And we've been taught in the schools that our founding fathers fought the Revolutionary War because of taxation without representation. This is another lie that we were taught in our school system, and Americans are not taught the truth, the whole truth of um, of the principles, the underlying principles in the foundation of our nation. So most people think that the British Empire is benign today, that um, and that we have a special relationship with it. They don't realize that we are still in a war with the British Empire, that they never gave up when we defeated them, um, uh, when we fought the Revolutionary War. So, um, this is really important to understand, that we are in a war right now against the British Empire, which represents this principle of Zeus. And the British Empire is using Wall Street to destroy our nation, to bring our nation down. And they are looting our population, the American people. And but um, people don't understand that the that Wall Street is an expression of the British Empire, and that they are our enemies, and it's the Wall Street, it's the British Empire that is attacking our nation through Wall Street and its mega banks, associated mega banks. To help you understand this a little better, the British Empire set up the Inner Alpha group of banks, and it was Jacob Rothschild that set these banks up, and he was commissioned by the Queen of England to do it. So when I'm talking about the British Empire, I'm not talking about the people, the general population. I'm talking about this this group of elitists that are taking over the world through their banking system. They're using that as a tool to loot the populations of the world. And the queen is functioning as the head of this empire. And so that's why I call it the British Empire. It doesn't, I'm not talking about the people. So it is the British Empire that we are in a war with, that it has as their goal to destroy our nation, and they are accomplishing this with their banks and Wall Street. And so our best tool to fight them is to enact Glass Steagall, which will stop their looting, and it will undo all of the bailouts and get us out from under all of that astronomical debt that they've put on the backs of the American people. So if we don't do this, if we don't get Glass Steagall enacted soon, I mean, we're out of time. We need to get it enacted as soon as possible. And if we don't, our nation is going down, because we cannot hold, our nation cannot stand it. It is disintegrating. We can see it already happening in Detroit, which will spread throughout the whole nation if we don't bring down Wall Street with Glass Steagall. The problem is that we have people in Congress who are pandering to Wall Street, who have been bought and paid for by Wall Street, because Wall Street funds their campaigns. Wall Street helped to put Obama in office. And in 2010, Obama stopped Glass Steagall from getting passed, because there was a really strong push to pass it, and it would have passed, but he stopped it because he's a British agent. He's pandering to Wall Street. He's working on behalf of the British Empire. So this is a really serious problem. We are not going to have some knight in shining armor that's going to come and rescue us from the situation. Americans have to do something about it. If Americans don't do anything about it, we are doomed. So it's up to each American to fight for Glass Steagall and fight to get Obama impeached. Because even if Glass Steagall were brought up if Congress did pass Glass Steagall, Obama would veto it. So the only way we can get it passed is to get Obama out of office. In addition to this, Obama is pushing for war. So we are in a dire situation in the Middle East right now, on the verge of a thermonuclear war being breaking out because of Obama, his push to get us into this kind of a war, which would be devastating to the world. It could destroy the whole population of the world. And I mean, a thermonuclear war, we cannot fight a thermonuclear war. People don't realize the seriousness of how bad that would be. I've heard a lot of people say things like, well, we should, I mean, they think that it's not really that serious. But it is. If we get into a thermonuclear war, it's likely that most of the population of the world will be wiped out. So we've got to prevent that. It's a serious thing, and that is the very thing that Obama is pushing for. So that's another reason why we need to get him out. We need to get Glass Steagall enacted, and we need to get Obama out. So anyway, that's what I wanted to talk to you today. The important things that need to be done to stop the crisis, to eh, to bring our nation back. There are things that we can do. It's not hopeless. So I will talk more about this on the next video. Thank you for watching.